this week's edition of the Kernel Media Tech and Crypto News Stream. I am James Bonsama with you today. For the next 15 or 20 minutes, we're going to give you the full rundown of exactly what you need to know in tech and crypto and the latest gadgets and consumer tech that should interest you. So I am going to announce to everybody that we're live. So I want you all to join me in that. So let's get ready for that and make sure that everybody is watching and is live. And if you guys are in the chat, then let me know. Say hi wherever you are, whether it's YouTube, whether it is on X. It is always great to have you guys with us and telling us what's going down. We're live right now. Come and join us. How's everybody doing? I am fighting an infection in my chest. Can you believe it? So you can hear that, and I apologize if I sniff too much because it's affecting my nose. It's making my nose run. The whole bang shoot. So there you have it. Right. Now, what is going down? Sup, superheroes? My man, what's going down? Bonjour from Superheroes, the Superheroes OG, Web3 Snipers, sup, my friend? And to my Kernel Media team, if you don't mind going into the Kernel Media Co. account and just reposting that James Bonsama post and just the one that says we're live right now. Okay, also, can you let me know? Thank you so much, Web3 Sniper, saying I look good. I appreciate that. But also let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm actually on a little bit of a different setup today. So it's good to know that I look good because that means my camera is okay here and I'm using my phone's microphone. So I hope that that is okay as well. Big shout out to Super Saiyans. Sup, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Right, guys, let's jump right into what's going down right now. So we have a whole bunch of stuff to get through. So let's dive right in, shall we? Are you guys ready? Let's do it. Now, remember, you guys can catch this weekly news stream every Monday, same time, same place. It is 9:30 a.m. EDT, that's Eastern Daylight Time in the US of A, 1:30 p.m. UTC, 3:30 p.m. Central European Time, and if you're in India, 7 p.m. And if none of those areas are yours, then just line it up with UTC and go from there. So what are the stories that you guys need to know? Let's start with tech, and all of these stories can be found at kernel.news. That's www.kernel.news. You can find that on your mobile. It's very mobile friendly, on desktop, whatever it may be, kernel.news. The first one here is that Apple is seeking Trump's approval to buy CXMT memory chips amid rising hardware costs. So what they're doing is they want to buy memory chips from a Chinese firm, Changjin Memory Technologies, which remains on the Pentagon's blacklist due to alleged military ties. So the request is stemming from surging memory chip prices, driven, of course, by AI server demand, which has strained supplies for consumer devices like Macs and iPads. So if you're currently in the market for a new Mac or iPad, then trust me, it is getting more and more difficult. So a decision could set a precedent for US tech firms navigating national security concerns versus supply chain costs in the semiconductor industry. So this comes down to supply and demand, keeping businesses running versus military concerns and security concerns, intel concerns, basically. So this is a big move, and whether the Trump administration will allow this is going to be very interesting. Why does it matter for us as tech consumers? Well, it could influence hardware costs and the availability of things like GPUs, memory. Many of you would know if you're trying to get new RAM for your computer, it is so expensive these days. Mining rigs as well, if you are a crypto miner, it directly affects the economics of running nodes, mining, or building AI-powered crypto infrastructure as well. So really, really interesting to see what happens with regards to Apple getting this approval to buy these chips from CXMT. Let's just cover that again. That is the Changjin Memory Technologies firm in China. Changjin Memory Technologies. The second tech news story that you guys need to know is prediction markets. They keep coming up. They are everywhere right now, and Meta are now pushing into prediction markets. Mark Zuckerberg has made an announcement that he is going to move into prediction markets with a new standalone app called Arena, and it focuses on points-based forecasting across sports, politics, finance, entertainment, and culture. Arena targets users aged between the 18 and 34 bracket, and is aiming for up to 100 million active users every month by deeply integrating it into Facebook, Instagram, and the other Meta platforms. I mean, can you imagine prediction markets in your WhatsApp, for instance? So this is really, really intriguing for me. Obviously, I've worked in prediction markets before. We hear Kernel Media is on the Supra chain, and Supra has a prediction market by one of the projects called Hype Market. You can check them out, hypemarket.trade, beta.hypemarket.trade. So prediction markets are blowing up right now, and already the volumes on Hype Market within the Supra ecosystem are phenomenal. Meta has explored partnerships with Polymarket and Kalshi, though the app is initially going to use points instead of real money, obviously because of regulatory concerns. Now, ethical concerns, I really don't think that Mark Zuckerberg cares, to be honest with you. And as long as they get regulatory approval, they're going to run with it and open it up to real money. Now, why does this matter? It matters because it brings prediction markets like Polymarket to billions of mainstream users through Meta's ecosystem. It's going to boost overall crypto adoption, liquidity, and on-chain betting volumes as well. This is a really, really significant move by Meta, and to have all of these available on your standard Web2 user's device, which is billions of people around the world, is really going to make prediction markets truly mainstream. So big news there, and that wraps up tech news. Let's find out what's going on in crypto. You can see here, for those of you on desktop, if you're on mobile, only this window here is what you can see. But if you're on desktop, you can see little numbers over here, T2.3. So that's page 3 of Tech News Story 2. As we move over to crypto, you can see those letters change to a C, meaning we're now onto crypto news. So crypto news story number 1, which is story number 3 for the day. So page 1 of story number 3, and it's crypto news now, so I hope you guys are following. Just wanted to highlight that. A couple of people asked last week, what's up with the numbers there on the left column I'm watching on desktop? The first story here in crypto is Ondo launching a 24/7 minting for tokenized US stocks. So if you remember FTX, RIP, FTX had tokenized, they were the first people to do tokenized US stocks, and everybody loved it. You could trade Tesla, you could trade Apple, you could trade Amazon, all the main stocks that people were interested in that were they had tokenized, right? So you could invest in these stocks just using your crypto. And Ondo Finance are now doing that as well. So they've launched a true 24/7 minting and redemption for tokenized US stocks, including SPY on, Nvidia on, and Tesla on. So the on is, in essence, their wrapped stock, right? So it's Tesla on, TSLA on, for instance. They've launched it on Ethereum and BNB, with Solana support coming soon. And obviously this now allows global investors to create or redeem tokenized equity positions at any time. And it bypasses traditional US market hours. This is the great thing about crypto that I've always said. One of the many great things is that it's 24/7. Crypto never sleeps, whilst standard TradFi markets, they do sleep. They're keeping office hours between 9 and 5. That's when you can trade. Now, tokenizing these stocks means they can be traded 24/7. The move strengthens Ondo's leadership in real-world assets, and it expands access to over 430 tokenized equities with improved liquidity and flexibility. And why does that matter to us? Well, it gives users round-the-clock, borderless access to tokenized US stocks. Obviously, for someone like me in South Africa, getting a position in the likes of Apple, SpaceX, for instance, upcoming big movers like OpenAI are going to IPO this year. Anthropic's going to IPO this year. As a South African user, it's very difficult to get those kind of stocks if I want to invest in TradFi positions. Now, all of a sudden, through crypto, I can do that because crypto markets are borderless. So it's really big for global investors. It combines traditional equity exposure with crypto's 24/7 liquidity and, of course, the DeFi composability. You can basically, I would imagine they are going to allow you to loan against these stock positions. You could create liquidity pools. You could invest in liquidity pools using these tokenized stocks. So it's going to be interesting. It opens up a whole new world for TradFi stock trading. It is massive. What's the next story in crypto? CZ is back in the news, people. CZ has slammed the European Union over Binance MiCA license decision. So Changpeng Zhao, CZ, he has criticized the EU after Binance failed to obtain a MiCA license. Can you believe that? The EU are like, nope, we're not interested, Binance. And CZ has warned that the decision cuts millions of European users off from the world's deepest crypto liquidity. And I agree. Binance withdrew its Greek application after missing the deadline and will suspend services for affected EU users whilst seeking approval in another member state. So big news that for the European Union and Binance users. The move reignites debate over regulation, investor access, and competition as the European Union prioritizes strict compliance under its unified MiCA framework. It matters to us because the move highlights how regulatory barriers can restrict users' access to the deepest liquidity pools and best trading conditions, potentially forcing them onto smaller platforms with wider spread and obviously lower efficiency. So not great news if you are in the European Union. If you are watching from the European Union, let me know, and I'd love to get your opinion on what you think. Right, let's wrap up with a new feature that we are going to be featuring on this news stream every week. We call it Tech Check. What is the consumer tech that you need to know about over the past few days? Well, big announcement from Sony, the Sony Xperia 1 8. I'm not quite sure exactly why they've gone with that name. The Sony Xperia 1 V3, I guess. The Sony Xperia 1 is officially announced. It began rolling out in Europe from the 19th of June. It is the latest flagship in Sony's niche, pro-oriented smartphone lineup. And if you're on desktop right now, you can see images of the Xperia 1 V3. Really neat looking phone. The Carl Zeiss cameras look really sexy and a solid build. So it does look like a really cool phone. If you're on mobile, don't worry. We have images for you at the end of the story here. But it features a 6.5-inch 120 hertz OLED display, the powerful Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset, up to 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. Please give me more storage. My iPhone is dying. And a refined, get this, 48 megapixel triple camera system with Zeiss optics enhanced by a new AI camera assistant for intelligent scene analysis and composition suggestions. The device is running Android 16. It's going to have 4 years of major OS updates promised, emphasizing a clean, creator-friendly experience with strong benchmark performance that outperformed several competitors. This is what it looks like if you're on mobile. This is the blue version. You can see those beautiful Carl Zeiss lenses over there, really sexy on the back. And the front, you can see boasting a nice solid build. Obviously, I haven't held it yet, so I'd love to see what it feels like. Next up is EA Sports announcing UFC 6, and on the cover is Alex Pereira, the fighting legend. UFC 6 has been announced. It was back in May, but it was released just a week ago, June 19th, for PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and X. Early access did start on the 12th of June for pre-order players, and it introduced major gameplay advancements, including markerless capture and sapient technology for more authentic fighter movement, real-time contact physics powered by frostbite for realistic hit reactions and damage, and a new flow states system with 30 unique fighter-specific momentum mechanics. The game also features refreshed modes like an expanded UFC career mode, a narrative prologue called The Legacy, Hall of Legends, and ongoing post-launch content with new fighters to come and updates as well. The graphics look absolutely incredible. This is the cover. For those of you on mobile, you can now see that's Alex Pereira on the cover. Really cool looking UFC game this, and I'm sure that your big gamers who are into combat sports are going to love this. And that is a screenshot of the gameplay. I mean, that is realistic. Has been released here by EA Sports. Just checking you guys can still see me. Yes, you can. I had a phone call come through on my phone on the new setup. Can you believe it? And that wraps up our news stream for the week. You can get all of these details at kernel.news or globalcrypto.tv. If it was a crypto story, globalcrypto.tv. All tech-related news at kernel.news. Please make sure you are following those accounts, Kernel Tech News, one word, and Global Crypto TV, one word, on X. And we are on YouTube as well. Literally, what's up? My main man says that he wants an iPhone, lol. So you don't really care much for Androids, huh? Yeah, you are on an Android now. I do know that, my friend. Web3 Sniper said that I was being heard nice and loud. That's good to know. Super Catalyst is watching on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, Super Catalyst. Let me know, are you watching on mobile or are you watching on desktop? I'm really interested and intrigued because as we roll this new stream out every week, it's interesting to see the stats of where you guys are watching from, whether it is on your mobile or on your desktop, and we want to optimize for both. Devian is watching as well. Awesome updates that you've got there, man. Thank you, Devian. I appreciate your comment. Well, that's it. That wraps up the show for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. 17 minutes of tech and crypto news, all wrapped up into one show, one package right here. And if you enjoyed this content, please share it, repost it, forward it to your friends so that they know exactly what's going on in tech. We'll have more consumer tech news updates in our Tech Check next week, as well as tech and crypto news right here on Kernel Media's various outlets. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I'll catch you same time, same place, right here on Kernel Media's outlets. From me,